Jonny.
Hola, Nicholas.
Hi, Johnny. ¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás? Muy bien.
Qué bueno, qué bueno, qué bueno. Ok, pues bueno, como pudieron escuchar,
Sorry,
estamos...
it's so loud here. I'm on a sunny day. It just won't cool down. It's hot, hot, hot.
Okay.
Probably something that you're very used to.
Johnny, now you are almost releasing your third album that it's called Encyclopedia, and there was like 3 years without a new record from the drums, and I know you were recording this disc in a lakeside cabin that was so hot. What can you describe about those recording days?
Well, they were a bit lonely and a bit scary. You know, when you haven't made music together
Yeah.
in a year and a half, and you've gone through a lineup change. You know, Connor and Adam had both left the band, and while Jacob and I are used to working together alone, it just felt different this time, and we couldn't really understand why, and we were a bit hurt that the other guys had left the band, and you know, to this day we don't really know why. They never really gave us a reason. They just left, and so it of course plays with your self-confidence, and it makes you think, what's wrong with us? And so, you know, there were a few days where we weren't sure if we were even going to continue. But after about a year of doing other things, I called Jacob and just said, hey, we started this band. We've been making music together since we were 13. Why don't we just try to go up to my friend's cabin in the nature in upstate New York, just get away from everyone and everything, and just see what happens. And to my surprise, he was ready to do that. So the next day we just drove up together, put a bunch of synthesizers and a couple of guitars in the car with some recording equipment, and we set up in this little wooden cabin deep in the woods. And we didn't see anyone for about a week, and in that time we wrote the song I Can't Pretend, and we wrote the song Magic Mountain, and another one from the album. And you know, when you first start, it's very scary, but after we wrote I Can't Pretend, which is the first song we wrote for the album, it felt like this album was going to have purpose, it was going to have meaning, it was going to have a message and a stronger vision than we'd ever had before.
Yeah.
And then we just got excited about making the record. You know, it's never fun for us, the recording process, because we're always, you know, we're so specific and we really intense when we're recording. So there's not a lot of fun going on. But I think that makes for better music in the end. Even when it's not fun at the time, I think ultimately the art will be stronger.
Yeah. There is also another song that you guys got that is called Forget the Rules of Your Life. And I think it's a very nice song, because every time that I feel so sad or I'm down, or you know, I used to listen that song to get an energy. And I mean, the lyric of this song is like so deep, right?
Oh, thank you. You know, that song it's another song about not conforming to what the world wants of you, and to find your own way and to be strong in that. You know, it's funny because I'll write a song like that that's so sure of itself, but then at the end I just keep repeating the words. Will I ever feel joy?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's this sort of two-sided empowerment where the first half is saying confidently that I don't subscribe to the rules of life, and then very quickly wondering if that's the right way to be. You know, there's always sort of this
and also this
sureness going on throughout the songs, and I can't quite write a song that's entirely confident, because you just never do have all the answers, do you? And that's kind of what we try to play with on this album.
Yeah, and I know also you met Jacob Graham on a Bible camp when you guys were 12 years old. On that time, did you imagine all this succeed with the drums, or not really?
You know, I always hoped that something would happen to get me away from that atmosphere because it was very unhealthy, and it was very difficult growing up. You know, I had 5 siblings. I had brothers and sisters and a mom and a dad, but I felt just very alone and ostracized, you know, even being surrounded by people, which I often find is the case. But it was, you know, I moved to New York City as soon as I possibly could. I jumped on a bus and took what I had, and I had about $300 to my name, and I just hoped that something would work out. And I very quickly met people that were like me, that did not have the easiest route growing up, and who also needed to go to a bigger city to find people to connect with. And very soon I had started bands and was making music, and but it all took that first step of getting away. But you know, you can move away from a place, but doesn't mean you've moved away from your problems. So your problems are kind of where you are, and until you deal with them, it doesn't matter if you move to Alaska, you know. To sort of figure out what the problem is and be able to address it. So we're hoping with this new record, because we're being so honest lyrically, that it will help guide the way a little bit for maybe somebody who's wondering themselves.
Yeah. And hey guys, are you still reading the Bible or not really?
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah. Are you still reading the Bible like on those days when you were on the childhood or not really?
Oh no. I read the whole Bible all the way through as a child.
Yeah.
I kind of get the gist of what it's about. But I look forward to, you know, finding different ways to fill my time and maybe a bit more progressive ways. And, you know, I never would want to tell anyone what to do. Me, I certainly find myself in a better place when I'm not having rules crammed down my throat.
Yeah. And, well, you know, Jonny, I don't really want to be in a gossip, but what really happened in 2012 with Connor Hanwick? I mean, why did he left the band?
Well, we don't really know. You know, Jacob and I still don't have the answer to that. Connor was never a big communicator. He was in the band, and we loved him, and we have to think that he loved us in some way. But it was sort of like the same situation as when I grew up, surrounded by someone, but maybe not fully connecting like you thought you were. So when he left, it was really difficult, and it was very surprising to us. He just sent us an email that he was leaving, and it was as simple as that, and there was no talking him out of it. And that really, that was very hurtful for us.
Yeah, like a
divorce. In the long run.
Like a divorce or something like that, right?
It's a better album because of it. Because we did feel those feelings, and it did make us angry, and it did make us feel lonely. And we were able to put that down onto paper.
Well, but I think now on Encyclopedia, you are getting deeper and you are getting better. And I think the upcoming concert that you're going to have on Mexico City on October the 29th, I think it's going to be a very special sound. I mean, a very special concert.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, we're actually, when I hang up with you, I have a couple more interviews today. I'm going to rehearsal space. And we're going to perfect the Encyclopedia live show. It's our longest show we've ever played, so there's many, many songs, whereas before we would play short sets all the time, and we've decided that we're going to play long shows each night and play songs from every album, including the Summertime EP all the way to Encyclopedia. There'll definitely be something for everyone.
I'm sure that it's going to be a very nice show. And, well, Jonny, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for all these nice songs that you are always creating. I mean, this kind of songs that show you the happiness, but also the sadness, and at least you get a good feeling. And thank you so much, Jonny, and hopefully you be in Monterey, guys.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the kind words, and we can't wait to come to Monterey. We'll see you really soon.
Yeah. Well, Jonny, thank you so much, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you
Okay,
both,
adios.
guys.
Bye, adios.